Here's a peek at what guests had to say after the show.
Okay, we're back here on the internet. Is there a secret, Governor, to Democratic success in the red states? Is our first question.
You got to be more likable than the Republican. I tell you one thing.
Yes,
though,
you have a personality.
But here's one thing that Democrats need to
What's
be.
that all about?
If a Democrat is good with money, you can't beat them. Because the middle part of America believes that there ought to be a safety net for the disabled, for the elderly. They believe in public education. And Republicans are always talking, well, you know, we're not going to spend that much money on those things. But if you're a Democrat who can cut costs and deliver those programs, build budget surpluses, and still cut taxes, they can't beat you.
And is for guns and energy. Thank you.
Well, that helps
a
too.
conservative Democrat, and it helps.
Right. Is there solid evidence, Dr. Lustig, that GMOs affect kids' health?
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment.
But we're waiting.
The data on
bet you there
GMOs is so sparse. Bottom line is, only the companies that make them could do the studies, and they don't want to. And that's how they slid Prop 37 under the wire.
If you can't trust Monsanto, who can you trust, people? Come on. Kellyanne Conway, since social issues like gay marriage and marijuana are becoming more widely accepted, does the GOP need to adjust?
The GOP individual candidates need to be who they are. We actually have a diverse viewpoint on those issues, including abortion. And if anybody, including you, Governor, can name 5 prominent pro-life female Democrats in this country, I'll give you the rest of my time, because they've all been driven out of the party. At least we have pro-choice Republicans, we have pro-life Republicans, we have Republicans who are for gay marriage, we have Republicans who are
Who would
for
the pro-choice
traditional marriage.
Republicans? Right?
Susan Collins of Maine, Lisa Murkowski of Alaska, 2 female senators, Christy Whitman, who was the governor of New Jersey.
Long time ago.
Well, what's the difference? But there are no pro. But there are no pro.
should we
She's
name
governor of New
people?
Jersey. No, she's not dead. She's alive.
William Howard Taft.
There are no
Raising the
pro-life. There are no
raising the
pro-life
minimum
Democrats.
wage.
They've been
I don't
driven
think
out of
that's
the
relevant.
country.
That's actually not true. They're pro-life
Right.
Democrats.
There are 7 pro-life Democrats in the federal Congress, Governor, who have
Really?
been, who run as pro-life Democrats and get money, and they're all men,
The
including
GOP
Bob Casey Jr.
And gerrymandered districts in the House don't need to move as much because they're much more homogeneous, and that's a big problem we have.
But I read in the climate study that 6% of scientists are Republican. Is that a problem?
Problem for what? 6% of.
Well, I mean,
6% of Republicans are scientists, or 6%?
6% of scientists are
6%
Republicans.
of scientists on this issue are probably.
What are you talking about? Republicans are very scientific.
But we are
They
pro-science.
believe in
We look at-
creationism.
If you're so,
Well, I mean,
you know, you guys really like to do something, and it's so untoward, if not
What?
amateurish, if I may, which is just sort of make everybody think the same in the Republican Party. And I'm trying to show you where there's diversity of viewpoint. I mean, the governor on paper, on some
Well-
of his positions, sounds very Republican. At least he's welcome as a conservative Democrat in his party. But if you are so believing of science, why do you look at a sonogram of a 5-month-old baby and deny what you see, if you're so fond of science?
who's denying what we see?
Most of the Democratic Party.
What are they denying?
What are they
Yeah, they
denying?
do. Denying that that's a human life.
We're not denying anything.
No one's
it's what the
deni-
Supreme Court
Okay,
says.
They
first
are,
of
Bill,
all,
they are.
first of all,
Views in the
well, that's
They are.
crazy. What a
It's true.
5-month? Okay,
Read the party
here's
platform.
why there's a debate about this issue, which I am somewhat sympathetic to. I don't think that the abortion debate is like the homosexuality debate, because homosexuality is real. Okay. A 5-month-old sonogram is something that is becoming undeniably human life, and is also undeniably not yet human life.
Some do deny it.
They're not denying that it is on its way to becoming a human life.
Yes, they do. There are plenty of Democrats. They want
They're not denying that.
But I think the fundamental question here is if the Republicans want to actually make progress at the national level, and both in the Senate and in the presidency, the party is going to have to adapt. But that's not going to change the viability of the vast majority of Republican candidates in the House. And it's not going to change where a lot of the money is going to, the Republican campaigns either. That's not going to get changed anytime soon.
All right. David D. asked Kevin Nealon, how do you feel about Al Franken becoming the first comedian senator? And would you support a move in the future to become the first comedian president? President?
Be president or him?
Yeah,
Of
it's
some country.
unclear.
Which country?
Just some damn comedian.
Well, I think Al Franken is doing a great job.
He is doing a great job.
I've seen some of the sketches he was able to get on SNL, so I know he'll be able to pass some
Right,
bills.
you worked with him, yeah.
Yeah. No, but I think he's great. He's really,
And he's really kept his head down and not been. He's been the opposite of a publicity monger because everybody else, they have to kind of warm up their image. He was like, "Ooh, I was in show business. I got a cold."
And he won by like
mine.
3 votes. So yes.
Yeah, park the punchline.
Right.
It's been off the.
He's done
off
a
the table.
terrific job at that. Okay.
Kelly, you seem to be outnumbered by everybody here. Do you want me to come on your side?
Yes.
Is that a gender thing or an ideology? Come, bring that Harlan
feel
Kim
bad.
All right,
with you.
I'll bite. Al Franken was for the sugar lobby because Minnesota makes a whole lot of beet sugar and actually voted against obesity.
There you go.
efforts.
There you go.
No one is immune
Money
to
talks,
that.
Franklin walks.
No one is.
But that's
in
the
fact,
thing.
the Democrats
That's
and the
right.
Republicans are both in the pockets.
Of course.
Yeah.
And who was more in the pocket of Monsanto than Hillary Clinton?
And by the way, let's not just stop at sugar. It's corn syrup. It's corn syrup. Every state that grows corn.
That is sugar.
Let's
They are
not stop
absolutely
at corn
hooked in.
syrup.
Just
Let's go to
remember-
maple syrup.
Just remember,
Seriously.
the
case Vermont bill
dirtiest
left out.
4-letter word in the English language is Iowa.
Right, because that's where the first primary is, and they have to kiss
Indeed.
those asses. And right.
Indeed.
But also, we didn't get to that in the discussion. It's very devious the way they put on the ingredients of a package. So many different words that all mean sugar.
Indeed.
Dextrose and sucrose and glucose and this syrup and that syrup.
Very on purpose.
Right, it's very on purpose.
Out there, do you think yogurt is healthy? What do you think?
Yeah.
Well,
Unflavored.
if it's
plain.
unsweetened goat yogurt,
Everyone,
Whoa.
everywhere in the world, it's a diet staple. Only in America is it a dessert. And
Right.
how come? Something called evaporated cane juice. What do you think of that?
Right.
What happens when
Sugar.
you evaporate cane juice? You get,
Yum.
indeed.
Yeah.
So if a compound has toxin A and an antidote B, you think it won't kill you?
But
That's what we
I
got.
thought Chobani was changing our life now.
But you can
I'm
get-
so excited.
It is changing our life. It's taken a whole lot of money. And there's a case in the California state courts right now asking about the mislabeling of Chobani yogurt because of evaporated cane juice.
Olympians.
Well, help us all out. Tell us what to look for when we pick up a yogurt in the grocery store. What do we want to see or what do we not want to see when we buy?
goat and nothing but goat yogurt.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Goat.
If it's
Now-
plain, it's fine.
If it's plain, it's fine. That's
Right.
the
That's
answer.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Put some fruit in it. Enjoy.
I was going to pass out milk duds to the crowd. I obviously made a big mistake. Okay. Did the West misunderstand the Arab Spring, mistaking populism for something else? By the way, this militia group, Operation American Spring, they took their inspiration. They said, if it worked in Egypt, why can't it work in America? Obviously, they should need Operation Read the Paper because it didn't really work that well in Egypt.
They did mistake it. They thought that the Egyptians all look like us on the square. They're pretty.
Right.
They speak. Some of them speak English, and they're going to engage in democracy. They never removed the military, and so there wasn't a real revolution. And therefore, there couldn't have been a real coup. Yes, they got rid of the head of the Muslim Brotherhood, but he never actually ran the country, and we
Right.
did misunderstand that.
Okay. Got to go. Thank you very much, everybody. You're a terrific crowd and a great time.
Real Time with Bill Maher. Ask Bill and his guests your questions right after the show at HBO.com or on Twitter.